Welcome to another episode of Cutie Cute Cards and Crafts. Today I'm making a card and I'll be watercoloring and using some embossing ink and some embossing powder. So I've got my Canson's watercolor cut down to 4.5 by 4.25 or 5.5 inches, and that's my Michaels watercolor palette, the Artist Loft. And because I'm going to be using embossing ink and some white embossing powder, I decided to go with a darker background. So you see I'm using the purple, and I'm just really no real technique, just kind of putting the paint to the paper, and I just go with how my eye likes to see it. I think that's the running trend on all my card making videos, especially with watercolor. I just kind of put the paint to the paper and hope for the best. And so it's just a simple two-color scheme. And I know I used to tape it onto a piece of what do you call it? One of those clipboards to prevent the warping. And I really should start doing that again because the warping on this card was just out of control. And so I'm just trying to dry it off. I'm filming this around the end of the day, so I'm kind of fighting against losing the natural light coming out of my window, so I'm trying to work as fast as I can. So that is Stamp Pendus embossing ink. I bought it pretty cheap at Michael's because I used a coupon, and so I just put a little bit on the other side of that contact lens case, and I just use my paintbrush and I'm writing the word super. And with this embossing ink on the watercolor paper, I noticed I had to, this video is already sped up 2 times, but I needed to work a little faster because I noticed by the time I got to the end of the R in the word super, that the embossing ink had absorbed into the watercolor paper on the letter S. And you're going to see that when I put the embossing ink on it, it does stick, but then it comes off when you really tap it off. So that is some Judykins white embossing powder. I've had it forever. It was a big bottle, and you see how I had to reapply it because when I really tapped it off, like a whole bunch of that S came off. Like I was saying, I've had that embossing powder forever. I try to use it as much as I can, but just, a little bit goes a long way with embossing powder, and I feel like no matter how much I try to use it, I'm never going to get through that whole bottle. And that's okay. I really like it. I like how white it comes and how thick it is, and it's a really good embossing powder. And so you can see it melt. I really love watching the embossing powder melt. And you can see there it is up close, and that is a Pentel sign pen. I got really excited when I saw that at the store. I thinking it was one of those like Pentel Foodie Touch sign pens that a lot of letterers use with the flexible tip, and it wasn't. But it's okay. It's a pigment ink, and I really enjoy sketching out stuff and drawing with it. And if you follow me on my lettering Instagram, QDQ Lettering, I'll put the link down below. You'll see I've been using it a lot lately. And I just drew some freehanded lines. And now I'm going to trim down this paper about 1/8 of an inch on each side, because then I'm going to adhere it to the card base, and I want a little bit of a matte border. I'm going to use a craft cardstock from Michaels. And that's an A2 size, so 4.25 by 5.5. And I just made it a side folding card, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and stick some adhesive on it. And you're going to see that I didn't really stick it on quite centered, but like I said, I was fighting the light. Didn't really feel like doing again that score tape. That's some really strong adhesive, so if I was going to peel that up, I would have ruined the whole thing. So I was just going to let it go. It's those imperfections with handmade things that make these handmade items have such personality, right? And so see right there, it's kind of off center, but it's okay. I'll let it go. And that is the card. Super simple, super quick. I really enjoy using that embossing powder and using it with the watercolor background. I really love the way it looks, and I love the way it pops, and that's it. So if you really like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and like and share and all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye.